On this edition of the Showtime Championship Boxing Report.
I set a goal for myself and I set a time limit on my boxing career, so I figured why not dedicate these years to do the best I can.
A lot of fighters, corners, have saying, so the other corner do not know what they are talking about. The broomstick, the jab, the belly is the breadbasket.
Ain't not bad, don't look good, don't look good.
He was the absolute greatest to ever do that, ever.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Albert, and welcome to this latest edition of the Showtime Championship Boxing Report. In gyms like these around the world, boxers hone their skills to compete in the world's most dangerous sport. And in order to survive, the fighter must go through the most rigorous and grueling of training regimens. Day after day, week after week, he must push himself to the limit, forcing himself to run that extra mile and spar that extra round. How does he survive the pain, alleviate the boredom, and keep himself mentally prepared for the battle ahead? To find out, we spent a day from dawn to dusk with heavyweight contender Donovan Razor Ruddock to examine a boxer's routine.
No matter what time I go to bed, 6 o'clock I'm up.
The reason why we have to run so early in the morning because the sun comes up real early here, and it's tough when the sun is out.
Running gives you wind, makes you win a lot better. In fact, that's one of the main things in boxing is your wind.
I just try to concentrate on my breathing and controlling my movement.
After the morning run, Razor will come back and he'll get a rub down. Most of the times when he does finish training, he comes here and he starts playing with the kids. His 5 kids really motivate him a lot.
You love me, but you don't want to.
When he's with the kids, it gives him a chance to just relax and get his mind off the regular boxing routine and such forth.
Did you brush your teeth?
Yeah.
Did you brush your teeth? Go brush your teeth. Go brush your teeth, go on.
Then Razor will get something to eat and relax a little bit.
Strawberry wave.
You like this feeling?
Razor, he loves to train. I've been around a lot of athletes in my lifetime, and he's the best I've ever seen.
Heavy bag is like an individual. You bend, you throw combinations, you move. It's a matter of repetition. The speed bag is to make your hands fast. It's a rhythm. The harder you hit it, the faster the bag comes back. Well, keep the jab out, keep the jab out. He's doing things automatically. He doesn't even have knowledge of it. He's just doing it. And you get guys that have a lot of talent, a lot of ability, they do things like that.
I tape them sparring and his shadow boxing. I think the tapes have been very, very important because he would come in and say, how did I look today? With the tapes, we can say, okay, come on, we'll show you.
My managers used to take tapes of me too. And I learned a lot, by watching the tapes. They would tell me, but it's much better to see it.
Then after the afternoon training session, Razor and Floyd will probably go for a walk and see what he's doing right, what he's doing wrong.
Yeah, right, that's good. I think he's constantly going to his, so therefore you're going around.
After all this, we'll go over the sparring tape that we've taped every single day.
Take one step in that direction and still go forward.
And Floyd can pick out, watch your legs, you're not doing this right, or check out the way you throw the right hand or the left, or try and improve on this, make sure you throw enough of this one.
Well, when you're on your toes, you look so very, very much smoother.
I figured I set a goal for myself and I set a time limit on my boxing career, so I figured that why not dedicate these years to what I want to do and don't slack off, do the best I can. When I finish, I can't look back and say, I didn't do the best I can. That's the only reason why my discipline is so focused.
Coming up in the world of boxing, the heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Holyfield, puts his title on the line against former champ Larry Holmes. They will battle it out June 19th at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. See it live on pay-per-view. And in June, the WBC's #1 ranked heavyweight contender Donovan Razor Ruddock will take on undefeated Philip Jackson. You can see it live on Showtime Championship Boxing.
The world of boxing has its own vocabulary, filled with colorful words and exotic-sounding phrases. To an outsider, much of it may seem like meaningless gobbledygook. But to the members of the sweet science, these terms and expressions describe, with pinpoint accuracy, the intricacies of their profession. Now, to make it all more comprehensible, the Boxing Report has compiled a video dictionary filled with the rhetoric of the ring. Here are some of our favorite entries.
A tomato can is, to me, a flat-out bum. I mean, it's a guy that's like a can of tomatoes. You know how soft, squishy, they're nothing. I mean, they're done. You know, it's over with. Stick a fork in them, they're done.
You can't cook meat with cold grease. All the work, you gotta be hot. The grease gotta be hot, burning. So he said, can't cook with cold grease. So meaning if you're laying on the guy, you're acting cold, you know, you just feel like you're cold. You're cold grease. So you can't cook, you can't win with cold grease.
Toledo is a brand name for the scales, like Kleenex is for tissue, like Hershey is for chocolate. And when I think of scales, I think of Toledo. At this time, very few of the hotels actually use scales that have the word Toledo on them. But certainly in the olden days of boxing, that's all they used was Toledo scales.
Well, Ham and Edgar is somebody that is an opponent. I mean, they're never going to be a champion, and they fight for pennies, I mean, compared to big money, but they're fighters, and they don't quit.
Shoe shine is, you know, it's really an old amateur thing. Shoe shine is working inside your drill and come back left hook, right hand. So you're giving the guy in to get his defense down. And it's not real hard punches, but soft punches rather than just lay there on the ropes and cover up. And so, you know, a trainer may yell out, shoe shine, shoe shine. The guy just starts throwing punches, scoring punches up the middle, real soft punches, but kind of rapidly thrown.
We don't know how many of these words entered into the language of boxing. Some, however, started as secret codes, so a trainer could shout instructions at his fighter without being understood by the opposing corner. If you have any words you want to find, write them down with your name and address and mail it to Showtime Championship Boxing Report, 1633 Broadway, 37th floor, New York, New York, 10019.
Boxing referee Mills Lane talks about something he's become famous for in the ring.
Well, it's hello. One time a sports writer was doing an article about me, said, you're going to say, hi, Mom. And I said, I can't do that. I'm going to go like that. It's hello, Mom. And then I got the people says, yeah, so you work a fight. I said, okay, next time they introduce the referee, I go like that. That's hello. So I do it for about 500 or 600 people probably. And everybody thinks it's for them. He doing that for me, you know. How you doing it?
No event in the flamboyant world of boxing may be as theatrical as the press conference, which takes place in a room such as this. With the advent of television, many press conferences have become major events, filled with dozens of camera crews, hundreds of reporters, and hordes of curious fans. And over the years, as press conferences continue to grow in size and scope, scenes such as these are becoming increasingly frequent.
That's it. Okay, guys.
Right.
Let's get it on. Let's get it on. I'm the man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour.
You missed this, you may never see it again for years.
Don't look good. Don't look good.
The show was for Julio. You know, if he ain't here, I ain't doing nothing.
Do I have to sit here and listen to this moron?
Come on, James. No, come on.
This is what I like. This is what I like.
We gonna have a war, you know what I mean? This is the Flintstones here, boys.
This is what I like.
We didn't come here to get stupid questions asked us.
You talk too much.
What else?
Are these genuine displays of anger or planned publicity stunts designed to increase ticket sales and TV ratings? Are press conferences premeditated hype or spontaneous hysteria?
Press conferences are, it's like a stage. This is where everybody get a chance to show what they got.
No need to fear. Right after I knock you out, come back. We can make more money than you can make with them. Me and you with the rematch. Then after I knock you out again, then you can retire.
It's a sight game, and if they can maybe get a guy a little bit, get an edge, a psychological edge. Some guys, I think, are just nervous, and they're perspiring, and, you know, they get a little excited because they're on stage.
I said, you said to me, spank his behind.
No, you say you're going to whip his behind.
And this is the belt we're doing, and this right here is getting to. That's what I said.
I think they're serious. I don't think they're trying to psych each other out. I think they're trying to convince themselves what they're going to do.
Nobody can really pinpoint when press conferences became battlefields, but everyone agrees the man who became the absolute master of this psychological warfare was Muhammad Ali.
The only fighter that ever really dominated press conferences was Muhammad Ali. I mean, you know, there was no point in having a promoter get up and, you know, because Ali was essentially the promoter, the PR guy, the fighter. It was everything rolled into one.
As soon as he come out the hotel and starts to run by the ocean, the beach, I'm gonna come out behind the trees with a white sheet. I'm gonna put a white sheet over my head. And when Joe Frazier come out, I'm gonna say, ooh.
Muhammad Ali, that was his best weapon, to intimidate his opponent, to put fear in him, or get him so excited he forgets his program when he gets in the ring.
Hey, that's bad. Oh, man. Ain't that bad? Don't look good. Don't look good.
You start rolling the camera, and here comes the showman, and he was the absolute greatest to ever do that, ever. In my lifetime, and probably in anybody's lifetime.
Although Ali may have been the greatest ever in the psychological warfare of press conferences, these battles continue to rage on. And today, most press conferences have some sort of verbal or physical altercation. Is this planned, or are these spontaneous outbursts?
When the bell rings, we'll see.
No one in my experience has ever sat before a press conference in a room somewhere and said, okay, at the end of the press conference, you do this, and I'll do this, we do this. That doesn't go on. These things are spontaneous, albeit theatrical, albeit full of bravado, but not staged, not intended that way.
Yo creo, Chera, you better be quiet, please.
A lot of people come up and say, what did you do to get these guys to say what they did to one another? I don't think that there's any way you can stage something like that.
Thanks, guys.
Hold on.
Let him go.
One of the press conferences in Los Angeles with Tyson and Ruddock, we simply had them standing there to take a photograph, and I don't know who pushed whom or who said what to whom or what happened, but next thing we knew, we had what appeared to be a near melee. I happened to be standing virtually in the middle of it at the time, and I can tell you that it was certainly not staged. And I'll tell you candidly, it scared the hell out of me.
Several weeks later, through a satellite hookup, Mike Tyson and Razor Ruddock became involved in the most talked about press conference since Muhammad Ali retired.
You understand? Because I'm going to come ready. You understand?
Okay.
Okay, you know that.
I don't know why you talk to me like that when you know I'll kill you for it.
That's what I like about you, Mike. You talk tough.
I can't wait till the 28th. I'm going to make you my girlfriend.
Say something, you.
When Mike said, you know, I'm going to make you my girlfriend, or he said, you know, I'm going to kill you, that kind of stuff, people who watch boxing, they know what they want to see.
What's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with this guy?
I believe we got some 87 requests from television stations across the country when they saw the feed, can we get the whole press conference? And you're saying, sure you can. I mean, that's great because you know in almost every major market in the United States, they're going to run what was said and people talk about it and it's interesting. So it helps people tune into the fights.
We'll never know why Mike Tyson made those comments, but it certainly created interest and generated revenue for his fights.
Every morning at 3 a.m. That's curfew time. You all can't come out, but I can.
In the overstated world of boxing, it is impossible to tell what is real and what is premeditated, what is honest emotion and what is simply hyperbole. But clearly, no matter how much pushing and posturing and screaming exists in the press conference, it will always be a poor substitution for the excitement inside the ring. I'm Steve Albert, and I'd like to thank you for watching this edition of the Showtime Championship Boxing Report. So long, everybody.